The thrill of the kill of going to Planned Parenthood. That's what it is. A woman. Some of these women on the left, they get a bloodlust in them, Taylor. Okay.
As the only person here who's actually raised
orgasm.
children, I think I'm the one who's qualified to say abortion should be legal up through their teenage years. Sorry.
A boo. I don't want to.
No, that's already the Democrats' position. Didn't you know that? We already believe that.
It is.
No,
it is.
I don't
That's what
believe
they're fighting for out there. Get out and vote. You know.
Yeah. I think like half of abortions are the pill. You know, like I think that I just think that if you need some limits on it, and I felt when Biden wouldn't speak out, say anything, the question was like, do you support late-term abortion? And God, you got to find a way to say no to that and then appease your group, Joe. Instead, he's like, I support Roe v. Wade. In the first trimester, it was from a woman and a doctor. In the second and more serious case, the woman and another doctor and her family. And like he trails off and gets lost. It's like Trump was like, this guy wants to get babies. Baby's crawling in the crib. He wants to snatch him up.
Crawling in the crib and he wants to grab him. Joe Biden, baby grabber.
The whole thing is stupid. 99% of abortions take place before the first 16 months. It's less than 1%.
Oh, did he just have a Biden moment? Uh-oh. The liberal lets the mask slip and he wants to abort 16-month-old fetuses. Good job. What is that, a 7-month-old baby? Good job, Hutch. Disgusting.
Nuts.
Yeah,
I told you, folks.
Hutch is on my side now with 4-month-old babies.
Without getting into semantics, there are disciplines in psychology who are physicians. I know it's annoying. Yeah, that's why I said generally psychologists don't have. People will say psychologists don't have MDs, physicians do have MDs, but there are certain types of psychologists that will go to med school. But I don't remember them exactly. But I'm just saying as a general rule they don't, but it's possible.
Doing that, dude. I do that all the time. Yeah, it's not a fucking giraffe, but no, it's like 99% occur. I think in the first 16 weeks, and it's less than 1% occur that in the third trimester. If a woman has carried a fetus to term to the 9th month, it's quite obviously that the case that if they're getting an abortion, there's something going on. The fetus is not viable, poses a threat to the mother, and it's a fucking horrific situation that we have a situation now where in like 24 states, women are literally waiting in the parking lot of hospitals until they go into sepsis because the laws are written like every single abortion ban has exceptions for the life of the mother, I believe, but they're written so vaguely that none of these doctors want to take the risk of saying, well, this is a direct threat.
Is that true? I don't know if a lot of the new abortion bans have life of the mother written in. Do they?
To the mother's life. They have to wait until there's actually a threat that manifests. And this is just something that's wildly...
That'll be the next thing on Twitch, by the way.
If you show up in an emergency room and your life is at risk, they have to serve you, right?
Right.
That's what they're waiting on.
They have to wait until it's an immediate risk. They have to wait. So the threat of sepsis...
Did you see Oompaville's video on you today? I don't even know what Oopaville is now.
This is not enough. They have to wait until the woman
stream, right?
The threat of them parking should be enough.
The threat of a pregnant woman pulling into a parking lot.
Did you know that the average woman is too fat now for Plan B to be effective?
Yeah,
you guys know that?
That is something that
You either have to take multiple Plan Bs or Plan B just doesn't work. But that the weight for that is much lower than you think. I want to say that Plan B, I think if you're like if you're over 150, it's not effective or it's not guaranteed to be effective. Plan B weight, it's lower than you think, I think. And before I'm making all this up. This says, one study found that women who weighed more than 176 took Plan B and had the same pregnancy rates as those who didn't use any emergency contraception at all. That's at 176. It just doesn't work. This says if you weigh more than 165, it doesn't. Okay, it's a little higher, but Planned Parenthood recommends that people above 155 don't use Plan B. This is saying 155 for Healthline. Okay.
I learned from Dick. I learned from you on. See, this is where Dick and Woody are the most
important.
You know how many fat girls get the raw dog to just know that off the cuff, Dick? Jesus Christ.
The only person I know who hates fat people as much as Woody is Dick.
Yeah.
He hates fat. Like someone will be like, "There's murders happening. Gun violence is out of control." And Dick's quote tweet will be like, "The average woman's weight is 181 pounds. I don't give a fuck about anything until this is solved."
Stupid.
Holy shit, is that true?
It's something like that, and I know that.
It ain't 180, bro.
180? I want to say average U.S. woman's weight. I'm gonna guess it can't be 180. It's no shot. I'm gonna guess 155. Average U.S. woman weight. God damn. 170. Keep in mind that the average height for a woman is 5'4", I think. Oh, average U.S. woman height. Now I guess for men, fuck. Average height for a man is what, 6 inches taller? 5'10" or 5'9"? And I think it might be 5'9". I'm going to say, well, now I'm going to guess like what, 210, 220? Average U.S. male weight, 200. God damn. And a waist circumference of 40.5 inches. Damn. I think my waist is 30. Jesus. Oh, here's a question actually. One of the most annoying things about, I think I've said, is buying clothes is like when you change weight, shit fits or doesn't fit anymore. It's very annoying. Let's say that you have a waist of 30 inches. What size pants do you buy? Do you leave yourself wiggle room? Like, will you buy pants that are like a 32, 33? Or do you always try to buy for basically your exact waist size? It will stretch usually. Bullshit. You never, no. Not if they're real pants with like buttons and shit. No, you don't want shit that's going to choke the fuck out of you. Fuck that. But I feel like if you buy them too big and you've got to like it feels cringe when you're using a belt to like bunch your pants together and shit. Fuck that. Where do you measure your waist? I don't fucking know. I just know what size pants I can wear.
Oh yeah, we gotta trim some of the fat around here.
Trim the... What do you mean by trim the fat?
I want you to fire the fat people.
What?
They're lazy and they're slow and they make me sad to look at. You can start with large Marge. Marge, can you come in here, please?
No, Margie's not fat. She's pregnant. I'm not gonna fire her.
Well, fine. Stay where you are, Marge. Congratulations. You can fire Professor Xavier.
Who are you talking about? You mean Hank?
Yeah, creeps me out. Rolling around all day in a special little secret chair.
Your waist size is circumference around your belly button. Pants usually have to fit under your hips. Wait, is that true? Fuck that. Wait, also, yeah, wait, where do you guys wear your pants? It's like right below the belly button, right? On my legs? Show us? Like an inch below. It's not about an inch, I think. Belly, below the belly button is for retards or old people. How low do you wear dress pants? Dress trousers should sit at least slightly above your waist and higher if they are high-waisted. Huh, no pictures. Oh, there we go. Well, why would you cover it? And you're covering it with 2 different outfits. Or 2 different, articles of clothing. Damn. Damn. Okay, I don't care. Fuck this.
No, it's like 174.6 or something like that.
Man, that's a big gal.
Yeah.
I bet a lot of
You're
them.
That's who you want around Trump. You want Lizzo's and her big girls as the Secret Service around Trump, not that little Tinkerbell that they have.
Zach, throw up Shane Gillis' sister. I get a laugh every time I see that shit. You know, I saw some more video today of Trump arriving to the local hospital or whatever to get checked out, and Shane Gillis' sister's outside the car again, and she still can't get her pistol in her holster. She's there she is.
Yeah, I mean, Lizzo right there. Lizzo and all her big girls.
Oh,
you know?
Dude, is this the 18 we've got?
Why is this?
To get checked out, and Shane Gillis' sister's outside the car again, and she still can't get her pistol in her holster. She's there she is.
Yeah, I mean, Lizzo,
like, it's so stupid. Like, people post a picture like, women, Secret Service. Like, different people are probably stationed in different areas, right? Like, again, it's funny because people will make fun of this woman because I think she was, like, behind Trump, like, a few feet. She wasn't on stage, but like, DI. It's like, okay, well, what about the man who was on the roof and stared at the sniper like for 20 seconds or 2 minutes or whatever that shot at Trump. What about that guy? Is that because men are incompetent or?
Lizzo right there. Lizzo and all her big girls.
Oh,
you
sure.
know?
Dude,
Is this the 18 we've got here, Kimberly?
I want to reply to that, Kyle. I have a bit of a leftist position on this. So I think we'll find common ground that fucking fatty over there shouldn't be doing that job. So like, let's take that and agree. But I do think those two women in particular have been singled out as if they're the cause of the security breach. And I found myself, I didn't hard scope any of the boys to see if they did a good job, but I did hard scope both of the women to see if they belonged there. And I judged one maybe and the other no. That was
Zach, I'm sending you the picture of the lady not doing her job.
Okay.
You're talking about the one that couldn't put the gun in the holster?
I know there's an edited version of that video. I haven't seen the unedited. Like, I don't know.
Can we throw that one up?
I think it's pretty clear that she was having trouble getting it back in the holster.
Yeah, the reason people are pointing out that stuff is because of the head of the Secret Service's previous comments about DEI and trying to get the number of...
What is this video of them not being able to put it in the holster? Does anybody have that video? Woke Destiny missing the point entirely. No woman should be doing the job in the first place, especially not short and fat. If somebody is fat or whatever, I can understand them maybe not doing the job. It would depend on what part of the job you're doing. But like if somebody qualifies and can do the job, then you do the job. Why does it matter if it's a woman or not?
Female agents in the agency up to 30% from 24%. And that was a big part of her. I mean, it's a quote. And so then you look and you see a gunman climbing onto a building. There's video of him an hour there before scoping the place out in the background. There's 2 minutes of people going, there's a guy right there. They're on camera. They're filming the sniper. They're like, he's there. He's got a gun. Then they send fucking Andy Griffith up the ladder. Dude points a gun at him and Andy falls off the ladder and hurts himself. During the time Trump was being shot, yes. During the time Trump is being shot, Barney Fife is laying on the ground with his ankle sprained, having a boo-boo. You know that building that he shot off? You know what was inside of it? Anyone guess?
Secret Service guy.
A team of Secret Service snipers were inside the building. They asked Kimberly, hey, why wasn't the team like on the building or maybe like pointing out the windows or something? She's like, that roof is so slanted. You know? Look at the roof behind Trump. It's a peak. It's like a barn peak. And the guy's up there like a badass. Like those two look like they knew what they were doing. That
Wait,
rifle that guy's got.
Right now? Are you
Secret Service agent struggles to holster weapon after Trump shot. Which, is it this woman here? Or is it this woman here? Oh no, it's this woman here. Oh. What? You just missed it? Was it this here? No fucking shot. Go further back. Okay, her I'm watching. Oh, she's trying. Oh, she missed. Oh. Oh, do you see what happened? She hesitated to put it away because there's... No. I don't know what she has there. There's no way it's a magazine because I don't think you traditionally wear a magazine on the same side as your holster. She has something else clipped to her belt. I don't know what it is, but she tries to holster it into whatever's clipped in the belt. Somebody just said it's a badge. Oh, maybe, but that's what's happening. Watch. She's trying to holster it right here into this badge. That's what she's catching. Whatever, if this is a badge, whatever this is here. Watch her. See? That's why it slides a few times, because it's not, you can't, oh, it's a badge, yeah. I mean, she's nervous. Yeah, probably, yeah.
Are you
I'm not
that the building
everything
had
I've
Secret Service in it?
Yes.
I've heard that too.
Inside of
Yeah, I think that's
either inside
confirmed.
And the only like it's either in the building the guy was on top of, or you can tell they're connected with a very short walkway of maybe 8 feet to another identical building. They may have been in that building. It's one or the other. That's the like 100%.
Do you really think she's overweight? That vest adds a ton of mass. She looks like she is. That'd be my guess. My guess is she is, but I don't know how thick the vests they wear are. When I look at her, especially because of the shape that women usually have, I would imagine that she is overweight. However, the vest doesn't just add mass, it also eliminates your shape a little bit, because underneath it's going to present like a flat thing, which is like a fatty kind of. So the vest is going to eliminate a bit of shape, and she's also wearing a jacket as well, so we can't tell how wide she is. She looks like she's overweight, but she might not be. It's possible she's not. It's just hard to tell because of the, but I don't know, who the fuck knows. Compared to the other agent, I can't tell with the other agent either. You're talking about this lady here? She could be. She could not be. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Do you not think she goes through training for this stuff? For holstering a weapon. I don't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you for Secret Service. I am a 1,000,000,000% sure, without having any experience, I'm sure they absolutely practice drawing and firing. They must. They must practice drawing and shooting. But typically, like when you're holstering a gun, you're outside of like super spooky situations, and it's not as big of a at that point. You're putting your weapon away. But to be able to pull and fire, they must have exercise. I would be surprised if cops didn't have exercise. Even ordinary police officers must have exercises for that. But I don't know if they like practice holstering their gun again. You don't typically. There's no virtue. You don't need to be able to like put your gun away really quickly. What do you think is her 2-mile time, and how does it compare to the males? My guess is going to be that on average, the woman 2-mile time is probably going to be lower, but there's qualifications to do a job. You don't have to be the best or the fastest to do that job. If you have the qualifications to do the job, then you can get hired to do the job.
The matter.
I want to lay out the point I was getting to, which is everyone, including me, hard scoped these girls to see if they were doing a good job. But I think the actual place that went wrong was someone above them, like someone who decided that roof didn't need to be taken care of.
That's Iranian death threat upgraded service protection.
So the person
You said lower? Oh, I meant lower as in worse. My guess is her time would be worse. She'd score lower. She would probably higher. I mean,
very top of this person at the very top of the Secret Service. I'm willing to look at her. Right, that seems like something went wrong there. She didn't put the right people on the case, and I don't know who was in charge of that day, but we should be looking at that guy or girl.
Wait, wasn't it also the case that the local PD fucked up as well?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But my argument to that would be like still like going after Kimberly and the Secret Service, and then they've been so incompetent here that it makes it appear.
It kind of stands to reason that if you practice drawing from a holster, you also practice to holster derp. No, it doesn't. And I understand why you might be saying that, because you're probably a conservative with a really strong feeling about guns or training with firearms, but you've never actually held one or shot one or drawn from a holster in your entire life. But no, they're completely and totally different things. You should try like actually touching a firearm for once in your life. And if you happen to wander into a fucking range, bring a holster with you, put it on your belt, and practice drawing and shooting. Shooting from a holster is actually a much different experience than setting a gun in front of you and then picking it up and then loading it and firing down range. It's a different experience. Drawing from the holster is one thing, and reholstering a gun is a different thing. Reholstering is always more difficult than drawing. Drawing is very easy. Your hand is on the gun. Searching for it is very easy. You reach down and the gun is there. Okay, you might have a trigger on the holster. You might have to pull it directly up, but you know how to draw. You should if you practice it. But once you've drawn and fired, reholstering it can be annoying for a whole host of reasons. You might have to use for instance, if you have a coat, it's very easy to draw with one hand, right? You can literally reach in and do it. But to reholster, you've got to use a second hand sometimes to move it out of the way, or you might have to like scoot it. And then when you go back in, like now your holster, which is easier to feel because it's heavier because you've got a gun in it, and it might be oriented a certain way. Now you've got to like search for it with like the front of your gun, you put it in and blah, 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 right? I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying that just because you've practiced shooting from a holster and firing effectively doesn't mean that you can reholster very quickly. I don't know anybody that practices that. The Secret Service might though, or maybe police officers do. I've never heard that before. It's possible they do. I'm just saying that just because you can draw from a holster and fire effectively doesn't mean that you can reholster incredibly quickly. That doesn't follow. Retard.
to conspiracy theorists that it's set up. And I don't believe in most conspiracy theories because you need too many smart people to keep alive, and that's so hard to do. It just doesn't work most of the time.
Did you see what came out? They eventually cracked the kid's phone, and they discovered that he was looking up. FBI Director Wray came out and said he was looking up images of both Biden and Trump. He was looking up event dates for both candidates, and he was also Googling major depressive order, which is like, this is usually the case. So people immediately want to assume that there's some like ideological motive to these things. But when you
I think there's zero.
The Reagan assassination thing, he was trying to impress like Jodie Foster, and it appears that this kid might have been motivated by just a sense of like
fame.
Go out.
If you were the president, wouldn't you fire her after seeing those? No. What my number one thing would be, whoever was responsible for operations management or whatever, whoever is like in charge of the planning or whatever, would be the number one thing that I would go to, and I would ask them, what were the breakdowns here? Why was a person on this roof? Number one, right? It's not supposed to be part of the perimeter. And then two, if it's not part of the perimeter, why aren't we looking at it? And then three, if we were looking at it, well, why wasn't something done about it? That would be my questions. It wouldn't be, did somebody holster a gun fast enough outside of a fucking van?
Oh, banging, yeah.
Did you see his message on Steam or whatever? He was like, tomorrow is my debut or some shit like that.
Keep confirmed?
He was like, yeah.
I heard that was not true.
So,
I don't know.
Every time you draw, you also have to holster. Drawing is, one, easier than holstering, and two, practicing a quick draw to fire effectively doesn't mean that you're practicing a quick holster, right? You can go watch people that practice shooting at holsters, right? Especially if you're shooting and trading shooting, right? You might like literally practice. You might do like a timer where you're like, right, and then you shoot. But then when you're done and you're not being timed anymore, like you're done shooting, you're like, okay, whatever, right? Now again, I'm qualifying again because maybe police officers or Secret Service people do practice this, but I've never seen somebody do like, okay, reholster. I've never seen that in my life. I've never seen those drills. Maybe there are those drills, though, and I'm just not aware of them. But from the sounds of it, you've never even touched a gun before. If you're saying that you should be able to reholster because you practice drawing from the holster, you just have never practiced with a holster before, which is fine. Most even shooters probably haven't, but it's just a stupid fucking...
Well, I don't know if
it's reported widely. I think I'm 100% on this. Super widely. So go back to that picture. That's important stuff. So
what was that?
Exactly. So in the bottom left, that remote control, that's they're saying was a detonator that he was going to use to set off the explosives that supposedly were in his car. It's not like I don't recognize that as a detonator, but that's what it's being used as. It's from some other electronic. It's actually in a Nest.
Is that an iPhone?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
It's a phone. It's his phone.
Maybe a Samsung. It's either Samsung or iPhone.
Can you imagine being the guy to pull that battery out of that thing? Just think, that would be so scary.
Being like, oh shit,
that
I
is
don't
what sucks about the whole thing. Because if it really was incompetence, did they fuel just the worst conspiracy theories with that? Which is
I don't think it's a setup unless you think the setup was them saying,
here, Kyle, the gaming thing wasn't true.
Send the B team. Send the B team to Trump. And actually send half the B team. I think that could have been done. I don't think you're going to get a Secret Service agent to do anything other than their fucking job, though.
Reholstering is part of firearms qualifications for law enforcement. Stress effects, fine motor skills. Okay. Yeah, it might be. I could imagine police officers and Secret Service, maybe probably for both. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. I could imagine that reholstering would be part of training because after you've deployed a firearm, you want to be able to reholster it and then perform whatever duty is next. Essentially, that I would imagine that. I'm not sure.
Man, woman,
I saw
or child.
people saying that.
Maybe not
I
child.
saw some people trying to latch on to like Iran doing it, and like maybe I just have too much faith in Iran as a country. But there is no fucking way Iran sends this retard to shoot a political.
2 minutes?
Like there's no way. There's no way.
2 minutes.
It just doesn't make sense.
That seems to be breaking news. That now that's not his Steam account. Thank you, Woody.
Oh wow. Yeah, Zach, I've seen a lot of people call him Retardy Oswald, and I've liked that.
I've got a picture of his headshot, but I don't think we should show that. I sent it to you guys on WhatsApp.
You did.
Do they practice in full garb with the badge on? If they practice, if the Secret Service runs those drills, they absolutely run those drills in full uniform. If you're doing a drill and the drill doesn't mirror real life conditions as much as possible, then you're wasting your fucking time. Go to McDonald's, buy a milkshake, and do that instead. Every drill that you do for a particular thing should try to map on to real life circumstances as much as possible. Otherwise, the whole point of a drill is that when you're in a high stress situation, the thing that you always will go back to is what you trained. And if you've practiced drawing and shooting over and over again in like a t-shirt, then that training isn't going to help you that much if you've got a jacket on. And if your uniform involves wearing a jacket, why would you not train in that uniform? So if they do train that, they absolutely train in the uniforms. I would be shocked if that wasn't the case.
And I couldn't tell if that was.
You didn't like that?
Real?
100%.
That was a real picture. Yeah, I don't like it.
There was some really wild stuff that came out where it was revealed that Trump had and I'm sure all candidates have databases or whatever. But the Trump campaign had a database of voters where they had profiled voters in like various states, and his dad had a profile, and they had like a numerical scoring system, and this dad apparently scored like 99.5% on this like Republican-o-meter. They gave him strong marks for being a hunter, a gun advocate, and a Republican voter.
If this guy's a loser teenager, his dad being a hardcore Trump guy makes it seem like he'd like Trump less, doesn't it?
Yeah, he hates his dad, so he's taking it out on the whole country.
There's just no indication that this was politically motivated. There's just
I don't think there is.
Killed a Republican president.
Yeah, but he means
pretty good indicator.
My take on this,
he did do that. Presidential
nominee.
nominee.
They had his
kill Trump. You
know, he did try to kill.
Lots of people hate pedophiles. It might have been that. It might have been his rise on Epstein. It might have been the
You guys
Epstein
don't think it's politically motivated again, huh? The guys who hate Trump? Whoa!
Maybe
Shocker!
People who go into the backstage of the Miss Teen USA contest and brag about it on how
You guys just tried to kill the Republican president. It might not be politically
There's a lot of
motivated
things to
at all.
dislike about Trump. We don't know.
The guy who tried to,
I'm not a retard.
The guy who tried to kill Reagan did it because he was literally trying to impress Jodie Foster.
Do you think the SS snipers who saw him also thought the shooter was one of their own snipers? If they knew that SS was in that building, it's safe to assume he was one of your own. That's not true at all. But I don't know what I haven't seen full video of July 13th Trump. Is there like a full video of this thing? I actually haven't watched the full thing. Do you support voter ID? Only if they want to do state programs to mail everybody an ID.